This is big breaking emergency news. A small town in Alabama is experiencing a migrant crisis right now, and officials are warning there that this situation could lead to, quote, civil unrest. All right, she is worried that the situation could spiral out of control, and she's worried that the city does not have resources to deal with what's going on. So let's get into the details here. Really quick, guys, please just hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on this big urgent news, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. So this is what officials are warning of in Sylacauga. All right, I brought up this town last week. It's in Alabama. It's a small town outside of Birmingham, Alabama. And they are experiencing an influx of thousands of migrants, and the town only has 12,000 people in it that live there right now. And 2 to 3,000 migrants have shown up in the past few months, and the city is experiencing problems. And city council officials there, she is warning that there could be, quote, civil unrest. This is Laura Barlow Heath, and she gave a interview with Fox News. I want you guys to listen to what she said carefully, because this is spreading to multiple different cities around the country, and it's in Alabama, it's in Ohio, it's in Pennsylvania, Colorado. It's happening everywhere. This is a nationwide crisis for our country. So I want you to listen to what this Sylacauga city council member said about what's going on and potentially civil unrest. Let's hope this doesn't happen. We don't want any of this, but that's what she's warning of.
There is a fear here of becoming the next Springfield, Ohio. You know, when is enough enough? When do they start? When do they stop coming in? How many are there going to be? There's no answers. We have none. And, the unknown and uncertainty is scary. And we have 12,236 people in our community, and we just do not have the adequate resources to handle an influx of migrants. It's going to take away from resources that are already struggling here. There's no background because we don't know anything. And there's a certain level of unsafety that our people are feeling, especially not knowing why they're here. They're not here for work. They've sought out work at numerous industries, and there's no answers. It's like a puzzle that you can't find the main piece to, because we just can't get anywhere with it in seeking it. And, the main thing is I want to know why Sylacauga. Like, why here? We already have a housing crisis, and we don't have a lot of availability in jobs, and there's, just so many uncertainties, and uncertainties lead to conspiracy theories and stuff, because there's no leads as to why, hardly. And so I have a lot of concern that, it's going to cause a civil unrest if we continue to not have answers to give to the people. I believe that people are very protective of their properties, and, there's fear with them not working, that when people are hungry or are in need, that they're going to start vandalizing properties and breaking in, because again, there's no laws in Haiti. Their culture is very broken right now. And especially when it comes to laws and rules. And, I feel bad for them. I really do. I mean, they're in a foreign country. They're automatically, it's almost like a case of human trafficking, except they're being used even though they're not working, people are hiring them in at a lower rate of pay. And that's just not right. It's not a good, nobody wins this situation at all. And so, it's just, I blame our federal government, and I wish that we had answers from them and yet we can't receive any. Like it's just there. It's cricket.
All right, so that was Sylacauga, Alabama city council member, and her name is Laura Barlow Heath. And that's what she's saying is going on in her city there. And she's saying that Sylacauga could become the next Springfield potentially. So let me know what you guys think down below of that warning. And she's worried that the situation is spiraling. All right, she's worried that we are taking on too much. Okay, we can absorb the impact right now, the influx of people right now. We are absorbing it at a very great cost. All right, this is a major tax cost for the American people. We are affording it right now, but what happens when it becomes totally unaffordable and it's rapidly approaching that rate, and we can no longer fund these services, these programs, these benefits? Are we going to have thousands of more homeless people potentially in a year, 2 years, 5 years, once these programs dry up? They're insolvent programs. They're a major drain on the economic resources, and they can only throw so much money at this for so long until it's too much and they have to stop. They have to make cuts. All these cities across the country are already making major budget cuts. They're cutting the police department. They're cutting the sanitation departments. They're cutting the enforcements, code enforcements, all these things. Everything's getting cut right now. Major budget cuts are happening. They're cutting building and construction projects, repairs for roads, potholes, everything. Everything is having major budget cuts right now. And a lot of the extra money from these cuts is now just being diverted to this other crisis, this migrant crisis. But this can only sustain so long. So we're cutting our resources and our social services at the same time having millions of more people come into the country, and thousands more, tens of thousands more in certain cities, while at the same time we have less social services available for the general public. So this is setting up a situation for disaster here. And this is what's going on in all these countries across, or all these cities across the country. We're already seeing kind of late stages of this in New York City right now. Okay, they've been funding this billions of dollars for years now, and a lot of the programs are starting to dry up. A lot of the social programs have been defunded, and their funds are being diverted to this crisis here, right? And the police has been defunded. There's less officers in New York. At the same time, they're having influxes of hundreds of thousands of people, right? This is a crisis. They have the National Guard. This is essentially what could happen in cities around the country if there's not enough housing, there's not enough places for people to go, is the National Guard takes over hotels, takes over buildings, and they have permanent migrant shelters, hundreds of them. There's over 200 of them in New York City alone, of these hotels that are run by the National Guard, and the U.S. Army, U.S. military, U.S. Marines have been seen stationed at these hotels, and that's a major drain as well too. Okay, we're paying our National Guard and our military to be running these hotels instead of protecting and defending and training to protect our country and defend our country from any external threats. They're bogged down with all of this stuff. They're working at a hotel. National Guard soldiers working at the front desk at a hotel. I've shown the video on here, right? I showed it a couple weeks ago at the Waldorf Hotel in New York City. Okay, they're sitting there like they're a receptionist at a hotel. Like they're the person you check in with. They're just sitting there at the front desk all day. That's not what our military should be doing, right? They should be defending our country, training. They should be protecting our country, not running hotels, right? And that situation is spreading across the country. We could see National Guard, things like this deployed in these cities if they have more people arrive. Okay, it's 15 to 20,000 now. What if there's 50,000 people in Springfield? What if there's 100,000? We think we're at the limit. It's like, okay, there's only 20,000. There's more people showing up every day, and it's being predicted that there is going to be a major influx. Like, this is the slow time of the year because it's so hot. It's summertime. Crossings are low. But there's going to be a major influx right before the election. That's what's being predicted by people that study this stuff. And they're warning there's going to be a major surge before November, potentially. And even as the weather cools down, there's always a major surge. The last year in December 2023 was record numbered crossings in history for the US, and there were over 300,000 people that entered in December 2023 from the US southern border. That's over 10,000 people a day that entered just from the border. Okay, so we could see a massive influx, and where are these people going to go? There could be more people showing up to Springfield, to Sylacauga, to all these different cities across the country. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you're seeing down below. I appreciate that. Just hit it up for me down there. It helps to get these warnings out. I hope you guys are having big blessings for your life and your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.